Lolly here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a new project. So I got this message and I think it's a great idea, but we got to get busy. I'm going to use for this project these vintage cloth napkins. Had them in my stash for some time and I was debating whether or not I wanted to open them, and I think this is a great project to open them and use them. So, all right, let's go to the table. Here we go. Let's see if we can find a spot on the table. Here's my napkins that I'm going to use for this project. So, Alia said she wanted to do a slow stitch project, which I think is a great idea. It sounds like a lot of fun. So, we're going to start that pretty soon, so I needed to get busy. What I have are these napkins. And oh, let me back up. What we've decided is we're going to make little books and all year. So, you know, we did the traveling journal, and so now we have to come up with another project. So what we're going to do is make little slow stitch books. Say that 3 times fast. And she has prompts that she's come up with for the 12 months, and so we're going to use those. It's pretty much freestyle other than the few things that she has added. I thought these are almost the size. We wanted to do a little 4x6 book. We can do 12 pages in, and then the fun part is in December we're going to finish it up, put the covers on it, and then we're going to trade. So that's going to be super fun. So the whole time I'm making this, I want to not only put my spin on it, but think about her maybe in the process. I know she likes pinks, so I got out some pink fabrics here. But then, you know, want to put other touches in there too that she might like. She likes grungy, she likes florals, so we're going to see what we can do. But I think that'll be really fun, and we will be just trading these between ourselves. So we would like for you guys to come along and join us. We're going to call it #Slow Stitch Shenanigans. So Alia's all about shenanigans, and so that's what it's going to be called. So you guys come along and join us. I'll put the prompts down below. You can use them or not, but if you want to follow along with us, use that hashtag. And then my shirt says coffee, coffee, coffee. That's right. So I don't know yet. I think I'm going to cut these, if it's the right size, by the time I cut the hem off of them. Maybe I am. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to. I think this is going to be about the right size. And then I'm going to do the cover later, but I think I'm going to put pieces of felt in between the pages, not stitched to the felt, but to have it as, you know, a little padding. And then later I do page 1, and then I'll do page 2, and at the end I'll stitch these 2 to the felt so that there's a little cushion in there. Maybe I don't have to do that. I could just stitch, and then I would have this, and then but the back would show with all the stitching. So I think it's going to have felt, and then I'll stitch the pages together, or I'll stitch the pages just like this. I'm not sure, but I want to make it pretty so she has something pretty to look at. I love doing it. I've done a few pieces, but I don't know. I could make a quilt and be less stressed than I am over this slow stitch. So we'll see how it comes out. My plan is to, I know this isn't the exact size, I have to trim it down, but I'm going to have the 12 pages, and then I'm going to leave enough here for, I'm just going to do a simple button. I'm going to put 3 buttons right here, and you know, maybe on the back also. for my book binding. That's how I'm going to put it together. I don't want to put them together, like sew it together and then have to stitch inside a book. I don't think I want to do that. I think that I want the pages to be free so I can just pick them up, stitch on them, and then at the end I'll put them all together with a button binding. So we'll see. I have some cute little fabrics here that I'm going to start just cutting and kind of laying out. I'm not going to do the cover until the end. I have an idea, but I'm not going to stitch it until the end. So I'll come back with additional fabric over the top for the cover. Today I'm going to try to get it cut out to the proper size and then start laying out page 1 and see what we can come up with. So I'm super excited. I think this is going to be really fun. I can't wait to see the little book at the end. And again, you guys are welcome to join us. The hashtag is Slow Stitch Shenanigans. There's prompts down below. I'll list them. The first one is just like fabric collage, and so you can use that however you want to, and you can stitch, do whatever you want on your pages. They're pretty open. There's only a couple that say like do a nature scene or sew a house or something like that. So easy peasy. You guys come along and join us. Even if you haven't ever done it before, you can come learn with us. Alia's new at it, and she did a project for Susan Hiles Creates, and it turned out so cute. She was so worried about doing it, but it turned out really cute. So I'm excited to see how she learns along the way, and myself. So I don't know. Here we go. We're going to get started. I'll see you guys in a little bit when I have made some kind of progress. So again, the idea is that we just want a small little canvas because we're just practicing and learning here. So, and also we're going to do it once a month. So you don't want to have to do a whole big wall hanging each month. So we are going to make these little books. And so we decided on 4x6, which means I'm going to make my little panels here a 4x7 so that I have room for, I'm going to make just a little button binding, like 3 buttons right here. And then I'll have this much space, which is a good amount, I think. Let's see, 6 inches. So that's all of that to sew on each month. So I think that's good. So I need 12. I got 6 out of that one. So then I have these extras, and these we can always use on a project. But so that won't go to waste. That's just the edges there. And then maybe when we're done, we can make a bow for the cover. And let's see. All right, I'm going to cut one more and I'll be back. I still can't decide if I want to do felt on the inside, and I might not. Because if I stitch these two together, you won't see the stitching on the back, and you'll still have, yeah, maybe not. So I think it's already going to be pretty thick. All right, there's 14 little rectangles. So I have 12 pages, 1 for each month, and then my back and front cover. So I think that is it, and I am ready to sew. All right, just going to show you guys this little goodie box. I recently inherited a lot of sewing and crafting supplies. So I thought this would be a great project to use some of this rickrack. It's all different colors. Seam bindings. So I think this will be a fun project to use that on. Some white. So maybe I'll try to incorporate these. Look at this little button. That's precious. Can you see it? So that's my idea, is on my, not that small of a button, but this button can go in there somewhere. But to put like 3 buttons here, for my binding. That's what I'm going to do. But anyway, I thought it would be fun to, I don't know, somewhere slow stitch this on to pages somewhere. So, and I don't know what else. Then I'll just cut little squares. My first one, of course, is collage and fabric scraps. So I'm just going to put on different squares, and then I can stitch. It's not pink, but look, we could just stitch that on there. Putting the scraps on here and making the picture how you want it. That's going to be a lot of fun to create on the fly here and stitch as I go, which I love that. I have, hold on. If you've seen my shorts, you have seen my, what I call doodle hands, and I kind of stitch on the fly. I don't use a pattern. I just put on there what I want. And so this is a cross that I had done previously, and then I have my doodle hands. So that's, I mean, I've done some slow stitch panels, but anyway, as far as ad-libbing it, there's not a iron-on pattern that I use, anything like that. So I'm looking forward to taking kind of this idea and putting it in the little book, and I'm trying to make a hand for each child and grandchild, so that's my hand that I've traced, and then I'm just stitching on it. So I think this is one of my favorites so far. But anyway, so we're going to try to take all of this. I love this. I never knew what to do with it, to frame it or what to do, so it just stays like this, but I love it. So now it's just off to see what I can create here. I don't know. We'll come up with something. Let me show you where I am. Been making a mess. I knew I had some somewhere, and I went back through my closet, and I found all these little squares. And then I actually even have some, these are like upholstery samples, but these little bits, so they have really pretty kind of coordinating colors. And so I already had one layout, and I changed my mind. This is what I have now. I wanted to use this bird. I have this fabric and I love it, and so I wanted that to be the focal point for this is going to be page 1. So what I'm working on is January. So I just laid down some basic stitches. I found some, it's actually probably for crocheting, I think, but they made a good, just a basic color here to put down, so I could just stick everything so it wouldn't move around while I was stitching. So now that everything's kind of down except for the bird only in this one corner, but at least I think he'll sit still for a minute, I can go back and put different stitches on here and do some, I don't know, maybe I'll have to go through and see what colors I have, but I think this is a pretty color that I think could go on there, maybe for some embellishment, or even here on the side. That'd be pretty. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'll come back when I'm finished with all that and show you guys. And can you even see what I'm doing? I'm sorry. Let me move this mess. All right, there's my first page. So I'm going to do some different decorative stitches. I'm going to go over to my, let's see if I can show you. This is my little cart. I told you guys I had one for embroidery. It's kind of dark in here, but I went through and tried to organize all my thread, but it doesn't really work very well. I just pull them out and then I have a mess again. And so, but that's what I have, all my threads here. So I'm going to go through, like I want a dark yellow like this to stitch the bird down with, and then maybe use that. That's kind of a pretty gold color, or I could use the pink somewhere. But anyway, I'm going to go through my little cart, get some different colored threads, sit down in my recliner with my coffee, and see what I can come up with for this first page. So, okay, you ready for the big reveal? So here it is. Here's my first page. And so I think I already told you, I'm not sure, that I just went in with just crochet thread just to tack everything down because the pieces were small and moving around. So then I went back, put in some stitches. I kind of treated it like if I was doing a tag or an ATC or something, like where would I put marks and do mark making. So I kind of just did that here and there. Put a few little stitches on the bird just to highlight, and then just did little vine stitches here, and that's it. Just real simple stitches. Over here I didn't go over all of the fern, but just some of it, just to add some stitches in here. You can barely see it, but so that's it. That's my first page. I'm super excited to finish now. I want to go and do all 12, but so in February we'll come up with something really pretty to do, but I like it. I think it turned out pretty. After I moved fabric around and picked out different pieces, I think it's good. So hopefully she likes it. I told her today, I said, even though we're going to exchange these, it's funny that while you're watching, I'm wondering if you'll say, I don't really like that page. Could you change it? Of course, I know she won't, but I just thought that's funny. So even though we're going to exchange in the end, we'll get to see them along the way. So that's exciting. But anyway, this is mine, my cute little bird here. And that's it. Thanks for joining me. I know it's kind of long, but I thought it would be fun to just come along with me while I figure it all out and get prepared and all of that. So we've been talking about this for months, and I'm so excited that January's here and we can finally start working on these. So for this one, slow stitch shenanigans, she picked a doozy there. That's it for January, and then we'll be back for this in February to see what page 2 is going to be like. All right, let's all hop over to Alia's channel and let's see what she's created for January's slow stitch shenanigans. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.